Have you ever just looked at your cat and thought, what on earth is going on inside that furry little head of yours? Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're completely decoding the secret language of felines. If you're a newer cat owner, you might be finding some of their behaviors a bit strange, confusing, or literally just baffling. But here's the real secret. They aren't being mysterious on purpose. No way. They are actually telling us exactly how they feel. We just need to learn how to translate. So let's jump right in and demystify what our feline friends are trying to tell us.
I want you to imagine, just for a second, stepping right into your cat's paws. Unlike us, they don't use words to say, hey, I'm hungry, or I'm stressed out. Felines are highly intelligent, and they've developed this unique, completely silent communication style. They rely heavily on visual cues. It's all about body language. If we can learn to read those subtle cues, wow, we unlock an entirely new level of understanding and bonding with our pets. It's a real game changer.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the secret language of cats, how to spot a happy and relaxed cat, spotting fear and anxiety, identifying hidden feline pain, and finally, making your cat comfortable.
Let's kick things off with Part 1, the secret language of cats.
To truly understand our cats, we kind of have to look back at their history. Cats evolved to use silent signals to survive, hunt, and talk to each other without drawing any unwanted attention. Think about your own ears for a second. We humans barely use them to communicate, right? Like maybe we manage a tiny wiggle if we try really hard. But cats, they literally have 32 muscles in each individual ear. 32! This incredible muscular structure gives them a massive 180-degree swivel range. Sure, it lets them hear a mouse squeak from miles away, but for us, the big takeaway is that it makes their ears an incredibly expressive tool for communication.
Think of this as your quick reference guide to ear anatomy. When those ears are facing forward, you've got a happy, content kitty on your hands. Upright ears, that means they're on high alert, maybe locked onto a bird outside the window. Now, if the ears are pinned back or sideways, your cat is frightened. That fight or flight response is totally kicking in. Interestingly, ears pointing outward and held low can actually be a sneaky, subtle sign that they're feeling unwell. And what if you see one ear up and one ear down? Well, your cat is just feeling a little confused, probably trying to process two different sounds at the exact same time. Moving right along to Part 2, the happy and relaxed cat. When you see a cat looking like this, notice how all the physical traits come together to show total trust. Look at those forward-facing ears in that super neutral position. The overall posture is just soft, right? No tension. The eyes are relaxed. When a cat is in this baseline state, they are completely open to interacting with you. Honestly, this is the absolute perfect time to go in for those much sought-after kitty snuggles or to start up a fun play session.
Next up, Part 3, spotting fear and anxiety.
But, what happens when the environment isn't so chill? As new owners, we really need to recognize signs of distress. Let's rapid fire through some tail positions because the tail is just as expressive as the ears. A high, smooth tail? Glad to see you. A slight twitch? They are getting ready to pounce. But hold on. Here is a massive misconception we absolutely need to clear up. Unlike dogs, a wagging tail in cats does not mean they're happy. Actually, scratch that. It means the exact opposite. A wagging or thumping tail means your cat is irritable and upset. If you try to pet a cat with a violently wagging tail, you are probably going to end up with claws in your hand. And if that tail is curved down and bristled or tightly tucked underneath them, they're feeling incredibly threatened and afraid.
Just look at how fear manifests physically in two totally different ways here. First, you have the classic Halloween cat pose. The back is arched, they're literally standing on their tiptoes to appear way larger, and all that fur is puffed up to intimidate a threat. But then, contrast that with an anxious retreat. The cat is slinking away with a flat back, the tail is lowered, and they're just trying to make themselves as small and unnoticeable as possible. Even though they look completely different, both of these cats are screaming, "Back off, I need my space."
All right, on to Part 4, identifying hidden feline pain.
So, beyond fear, there's another negative state that is notoriously tricky for us to spot: pain. Because cats evolved to hide pain, so they wouldn't look like an easy snack to predators, it is incredibly difficult for us owners to realize when they're hurting. Even though they're perfectly safe curled up in our living rooms, that ancient instinct is totally hardwired. To help us play detective, veterinary professionals actually use something called the feline grimace scale. It's a highly visual, scientifically validated scoring system. Basically, it evaluates specific facial features, like ear and whisker position, facial tension, and how tightly the eyes are closed. Every feature gets a score from 0, meaning no pain, up to a 2, meaning the sign of pain is very obviously present.
When you compare these two expressions, the clinical signs become super obvious. A score of 0 shows totally normal features: upright ears, wide open eyes, whiskers resting naturally. But pay close attention to that tense face with a score of 2. The ears are flattened outward, the eyes are heavily squinted, and those whiskers are fanned out and stiff. The head might even be lowered down in line with the back. Make no mistake, this is the face of a cat that is silently hurting.
Let's take that concept and look at it in real life. One cat looks alert, eyes are wide open, ears are perked forward, classic 0 score. But take a look at the other cat. You can clearly see those exact features we literally just talked about. The lowered head, those intensely squinted eyes, the flattened ears. It's so important to recognize this because, compared to a dog who might whimper or noticeably limp, this very subtle facial tension might be the absolute only clue your cat gives you that they need medical help.
And finally, part 5, making your cat comfortable.
So what do you actually do when you decode these signs of distress? As a new owner, you really need to have this sequence of interventions in your back pocket. Step 1? That absolutely must be scheduling an evaluation with your vet. Stuff like hidden pain or intense anxiety, that requires a professional diagnosis and maybe even medication. But once the vet gives you the all clear, you move to step 2, making environmental changes. Give your cat a quiet, clean space to retreat to and maybe add some vertical spaces, like perches, so they can observe their territory safely from above. Then, step 3 is enrichment. You can introduce food puzzles to stimulate those natural hunting instincts and try to maintain a really consistent schedule for feeding and playtime. That routine seriously helps reduce their uncertainty.
There's a great quote from Alley Cat Allies that really hits the nail on the head for our core message today. One of the primary ways cats communicate is through body language. Learn what a cat is telling you. Taking the time to learn this silent visual language, it is absolutely crucial. It's the key to building a strong, trusting bond with your feline companion. They are always communicating with us. We just have to be willing to listen with our eyes.
So I want to leave you with this thought. The very next time you walk into the room and see your cat, just stop and really look at them. Check their ears, their tail, their facial tension. Ask yourself, what are they telling me right now? Armed with the knowledge from this explainer, you are totally ready to answer that question. Thanks for hanging out with us and have so much fun using your newly found translation skills with your furry friend.